Cats the Musical, and when I was 3, I loved dancing to Cats the Musical. Looking back, this is the time I felt the most free. If I wanted to be a big cat jumping up on furniture, I would be a big cat jumping up on furniture. Because when you're 3, you're not thinking about yourself. You just are yourself. Now that I'm 30, I watch Cats the Musical again. And my first thought was, there are too many cats. Another song with another cat? This is totally unreasonable. Jonathan, calm down. You're watching Cats the Musical and you're complaining about the number of cats. Just enjoy the cats dancing. Then 2 minutes later I was like, there's no plot. This is trash. God damn. I found myself getting angry and I didn't know why. What happened to that little boy who just loved dancing to cats and didn't care what anybody else thought? What happened in that gap from 3 to 30? Well, I grew up in El Paso, Texas, a conservative town with traditional beliefs and values. So at a certain point, even the most understanding and forward-thinking teacher would have been like, Mr. and Mrs. Euseppi, he's doing well in math, science, and social studies. Unfortunately, he's still dancing to cats. And then when you're 12, your hormones kick in, and you don't care about cats. All you want to do is ride your bikes with your friends and hopefully run into a box of pornography. One day, my friend Jared and I were doing just this. When up ahead, there's some older guys smoking a joint. We get up to them, and they say, "Get off the bike, pussy." I just seen the movie Footloose tonight. So I was not about to take shit from anybody. So we say this line from the film that I know will change their life. I say, "You guys are real big heroes when it's 4-on-1. And they destroyed me. I've never been beaten up this bad. They beat me up so bad they got tired, and 2 of them just held me, while the other 2 beat up my bike. Like, you fucking watch! Never try that shit. So from that day on, I didn't dance to cats. I didn't mention musicals to anyone. Returning to my life, a completely normal boy, no different than anybody else. And then, my dad died.
I know you want to leave me, but I refuse to let you go. If I have to beg.
Everyone laughing and coming together in the moment. All of my family memories involve everyone being terrified in the moment, and then the laughter doesn't come until years later. My family's history is these seemingly random eruptions that would just be followed by a, hopefully that doesn't happen again. Our solution to everything was just to deny, deny, deny. Our trip to Florida starts with my dad, this 300-pound, wildly angry Italian man, just throwing luggage into the car. He's cursing. Once we get in the car, our luggage is in our laps because he couldn't stack it in the back. And there's this uncomfortable silence and tension in the car. This silence defined my family. When my dad was angry, we would all turn into rabbits that sense a predator. Don't move. Don't say anything. Don't attract attention to yourself. Then, we smell this awful smell in the car. Oh God. It smells terrible in here. Don't mention anything, hopefully he doesn't notice. What's that goddamn smell in here? He notices. Then my brother finally gets the courage to say something. My stupid friend Barrett puked in the car last night? Yeah. Now he's not saying anything, it's just so much scarier because you know he's thinking about killing. Don't move, don't say anything. Don't attract attention to yourself. Then my sister makes a bold move. She grabs a Dave Matthews band out. Reaches past it, puts it into the CD player. He wakes up, turn the goddamn shit off! That's how we got to the airport. Once we're in Florida, we're at a buffet. And my dad is eating at the buffet. He's not stopping. He pops 2 olives in his mouth, and they get lodged in the back of his throat, and he begins to choke. So he just goes, ah, ah, and he's so scary that nobody knows that. So he's just, ah, 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 and on the 3rd one, he projectile vomits all over his People were screaming and grabbing their children. Refunds were given out. And the restaurant was shut down for the day. After all of this, nobody stopped to ask, 1, why was Dad eating at the buffet? And 2, why is he so angry that he was literally dying? And we're like, I can't help, I don't know. We all just said, hopefully that doesn't happen again. It's very ironic because my mom is a perfectionist. Her hair is perfect. Her makeup is always perfect. Her house is always perfectly organized and decorated. Her motto is, just keep moving, I am fine, we are fine, everything's fine. And that's fine if everything is fine. But she married a man that is shutting down restaurants? Her nickname is the Hummingbird because she literally cannot stop moving, ever. Always organizing, always looking, always searching for something to do. We would watch movies, she would grab a magazine and just start flipping through pages so quickly that it made noises. Do you know how anxious of a person you have to be to make reading loud? Unless you're reading out loud, it shouldn't be loud. My sister yelling at her, Mom! We're trying to watch the movie. You've got to stop reading. Then my mom gets up and goes to the other room. It's silent. Then you hear clang, clong, clang. She's in there like organizing pots and pans. My sister yells at her again, Mom, we're trying to watch Men in Black. Come on. My sister is the firstborn and she's the most like my dad. She's wildly angry. She got disillusioned with the world at 12 years old when my parents brought her to a church camp and they crucified a kid. They didn't do a full crucifixion, but they did pick one kid, tied him to a cross, and raised the cross in front of everyone. From that day on, my sister did not believe in God. And firmly believed that everyone on Earth was a fucking idiot. Like, at 40, she's actively trying not to curse so much. She'll call me, but like, things that are like even remotely phony just trigger her. So she'll call me and be like, Jonathan, I watched another bullshit fucking romantic comedy. It's all another bullshit fucking lie. God damn it, reality television, are we this dumb as a fucking country? I guess we are. I guess we fucking are. You know what, I threw my television in the trash because I was about to blow my fucking brain out. She's a yoga instructor. My brother, he's the most like my mom. He's a perfectionist. But instead of like organizing the house or decorating, he wants to organize the stocks into the best stocks and pick, bonds. He's heavily invested in energy, but he's also like to diversify his annuities. I don't know him at all. friend of his asked him point blank, what was the best day of your life? And I leaned in because I was finally getting this information. And he said, it was the day I got a job and I didn't have to depend on anyone. So it's hard to think of a memory of us all together and laughing in the moment. But there is one. My dad loved joking and playing cards. He was great at it. The only time it was nice to be around the whole family was when he was sitting down and playing cards. Sex is funny. But it's also the most personal thing. And I came from a family that was never personal. So anytime sex was brought up, it was always dealt with the same way. Deny, deny, deny. My sister, she was presented with the realities of sex at a young age when she found a heartbreak letter from my mom's sister, Aunt Michelle, to her female lover, asking why, after they had been so close, both sexually and emotionally, that this woman could leave her. It's very personal. And my sister brought it to my mom. My mom looked at it and said, they're just good friends. That's how friends talk. Not only is that a lie, but it's very misleading. Friends talk. My sister was no fool. She knew that was lovers talking. And to her, it was just another lie from fucking phones. My brother, he had a porno that he loved. And he would watch it every day before school. But one day he got cocky and he left it running while he took a shower in the morning. And my mom, always searching, always looking, found that shit, hit the eject button, and threw it in the trash without any conversation. I'd never seen emotion from my brother before, but on this day, he stormed out of his room like a Victorian lord. I'm 18 years old, Ma. I could buy porno VHSs. And this time, there'll be even dirty glass. God, Paul. I was the baby, so I was trying to grow up the fastest. So I had the most run-ins with sex that were never talked about. When I found out what masturbation was, I would take these crazy long showers. And one day my mom knocks on the door. Dun, dun, dun! What's going on in there? I just yelled back, I'm showering! She yelled back, yeah, right! Around the same time, I printed off a picture of two women going down on each other. 90s color print. So it was like, oh my god, this is really loud. Holy shit, there's a nipple! There's another nipple! The thing, it took like an hour to print off. But I finally had it. And I put it between my mattress and my box springs. And my mom, always searching, always looking, found that shit. And took it to my dad. He looked at it. Very confused. Just said, you shouldn't be doing that shit! And that's how it would go. There'd be a denial and So if you don't have a teacher in your home, you'll find one elsewhere. Some teachers are mean. Some are burnt out and they don't care. I was lucky. My teacher was loving and patient and kind, and on Cinemax at 1 a.m. Her name was Emmanuel. Queen of the Galaxy. The show was called Emmanuel in Space. It followed this young woman played by Krista Allen, who finds herself teaching the ways of love and sexuality to a group of sexually inexperienced aliens, led by alien leader Hafro. Now, these aliens knew nothing of sexuality, and even less about love, and Hafron was an idiot. But Emmanuel would travel through the universe and spread the knowledge. The show was really good. And it had sex. And I would watch it on my tiny little television that had a built-in VHS player, and I would record every single episode. And then I would label the tapes things like Forrest Gump, Maverick, bullshit 90s movies. Now this television, and I would keep all of these tapes in a box under my bed. And this television is what we call a clone television. That means it would only watch what was on in the living room. You may be asking, wasn't there a code for mature content? The answer is yes. However, I'd taken a magic marker, put it on every single button on the controller, and asked my parents to put in a code for something simple like an action movie. Then I looked at the controller, saw which 4 buttons had been and narrowed my options down for there. Doesn't matter, what matters is this is a clone television. And one night, my dad's getting up for a late night snack, and I hear him go into the kitchen. He's in there for a while, and the longer he's in there, the more nervous I get, and the more and more shameful thoughts start flooding through my brain. And I start to get more and more scared, and I think about that kid at church camp that my sister told me about that was crucified. Like, holy shit, they can do that? And it starts to get more and more catastrophic to the point where I'm sure my dad is going to walk into the living room, turn on the television, see Emmanuel, know I stole the code and ate from that sweet, sweet tree of knowledge. And then he's going to storm into my room, bust down the door, and say, "Where's the box?" And I'm going to be like, "What box?" He's going to be like, "Forrest Gump." Yeah, right! I can't take it anymore, so I have to get up. I have to do something. I have to intervene. So I get up, and I crawl through the dining room. Peek my head around the kitchen. He's not there. Oh, God. And that's when I see the light, and I hear, "Emmanuel, Queen of the Galaxy, Emmanuel, your pleasure I will be." Oh my God, he's watching Emmanuel. Oh my God, he's eating from that sweet, sweet tree of knowledge too. I don't know what to do. So I get back to my room, and now I have a decision to make. Do I watch Emmanuel? Yes. So I hit record, and that night, Emmanuel taught my dad and I about love. I'm 12 years old at this point, and in a year my dad will be dead. When my brain starts to try and pull up memories of my dad's death, it also pulls up memories of me going through puberty and about to be the most horny teen ever. Like, life just happens like that. Life said, your dad's going to die, and you're going to be really horny. Good luck! Life doesn't care about convenient timelines. It just keeps spinning. So at my dad's wake, all of my friends are huddled in my room, and they're packed in there, and they're just being there for me, you know? Nobody really knows what to say. And then one of them, kind of jokingly, kind of not, says, "Do you want to watch Emmanuel?" And I thought about it, and I was like, "No, I'm just too sad." And they were like, "Totally understand." But they didn't. And I didn't talk about it. I'm fine. We are fine. Everything's fine. Two people Deepak Chopra and my father. Deepak Chopra once said that happiness is the continuation of events that are not resisted. One of my dad's favorite quotes was, "Get this goddamn dog away from me." Some dads would threaten to take a belt out. My dad would threaten to pistol whip the couch. He would stump his toe and be like, "Goddamn, goddamn, goddamn. I'm gonna pistol whip this motherfucker." And he didn't have a gun. So we'd look at mom and she'd be like, "He's fine, he's in pistol whip mode." He would sometimes get so angry that he couldn't talk, so he'd just go, "Ah, yeah, yeah, ah," and leave. We'd be like, "Where does he go?" And my mom would be like, "He's driving." And we'd be like, "Where to?" She'd be like, "Just driving." Where he would go was Taco Bell. He grew up in El Paso, Texas with some of the best Mexican food in the world. He was driving right past those places and straight to Taco Bell. This was 90s Taco Bell. The logo was a setting sun because they're not trying to hide that this place was sad. You would walk in and say, "I'm trying not to feel." And they would say, "Well, you want a paper briefcase of hard tacos or soft tacos, you son of a bitch?" And my dad would say, "Give me both, god damn it." My dad's anger was the biggest issue we all had growing up. I never knew why he was angry, and because of this, I harbored so much anger towards him. I always wanted to do normal father-son things with him, but it would always get sabotaged with this eruption of anger. I remember one time we were supposed to build a basketball goal together, and he ended up calling sports authority and threatening to pistol whip the entire Another time, he taught me to mow the lawn. "Alright, Jim, stand up straight. I gotta teach you some shit. Why you can't get your hands out your pockets? You playing pocket pool? It means you're touching your dick." Alright, never mind. Gotta turn this to green, right? You watch that, now you pull this back. Alright, here we go. Yeah. Yeah. Goddamn thing is flooded. Alright, Chuck, when it gets flooded, you gotta press this little knob right here. Alright? Here we go. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, God, I stepped in shit, John. 40 pieces of shit in the goddamn yard. I can't teach you to mow the lawn. There's shit everywhere. Clean up the shit and I'll start the motherfucker. Goddamn. You lousy motherfucker. John. That's how you move along. The day my dad died, he was traveling back from Las Cruces, New Mexico to our home in El Paso, Texas. He would take this ride on the weekends with his friends on his motorcycle, and he would have lunch and then come back. He said he liked it because it was a 2-lane highway that cut through this beautiful farmland. He said he liked it even more because the 2-lane highway reminded him of his childhood. He grew up on a farm in Arkansas, on an isolated piece of land away from everybody. He had an Italian family. His dad was very religious, so religious that they called him the good book because he was always quoting Bible verses. He had a sweet, plump Italian mother who just wanted to feed everyone. He had 2 brothers, Joe and James, who ended up taking over the farm, and 2 sisters, Rosemary and Nori, who stayed in Arkansas as well. But my dad was the one who escaped to pursue his dreams and business. So he was taking this 2-lane highway that reminded him of his childhood, when for whatever reason, we don't know why, he was passing a car, As he's passing the car, his motorcycle goes off the road. And I've seen the tracks. He almost gets back on the road. But it was a freak accident. Something happened. And he goes over the handlebars. And this 800-pound motorcycle comes down upon him and crushes his face, his ribs, all of his organs, and snaps his neck. And just like that, he was dead. After he died, I found out so much about him. I found out that he finally went to therapy. When my mom was separating from him, she said, "Ned, I can't take this anymore. I'm going to therapy." And he got more scared than he'd ever been in his entire life. He never thought that she'd leave him. And so he said, "You're going to therapy?" "Well, I'm going to fucking therapy!" So he went to therapy out of spite, but he went. I found out that his father, the good book, was in World War II, had PTSD, and was an alcoholic. And he would come into the living room with a rifle, and my dad would have to fight him to protect the family. I found out this happened so often that now my dad had undiagnosed PTSD from this. I found out that the apartment complex he was living at, when they were separated, the people there threw him a party. And at that party, he announced to everyone that he was going to get his family back. I found out all of these things, and it totally changed how I viewed him. What haunts me about his death is that it happened so suddenly. The day he died, he dropped me off at the mall. And before I got out of the car, he turned to me and he said, "John, I love you." And I said nothing. I was so angry at him when he died. And I thought in my head, if I ignored him hard enough, and I shamed him hard enough, that he would change. And I found out, after he died, that that was a complete waste of everyone's time here together. And I so wish I could say something that would make him feel lovely and seen and at peace. I just got in this much. God damn it. Jim, I stepped in shit. There must be 40 pieces of shit in the goddamn yard, John. I can't teach you to mow the lawn when there's shit everywhere. Clean up the shit! Clean up the goddamn shit! Dad, this isn't going to go well. But I want you to know that I love you. Even though you fight all of our appliances. All the time. I think you're very smart and funny. And you have a big heart. When you sit down and play cards, you make everyone happy. I don't know why you're doing these things, but I don't hate you. I love you. You never know who your hero's going to be. Sometimes they're a friend who helps you move, or a stranger who returns a wallet cash intact. When my dad died, my hero was a 300-pound woman who exclusively wore bicycle shorts and was addicted to Percocets. We called her Aunt Michelle. Aunt Michelle came into town at the perfect time, because up until this, my whole identity was just a reaction to my dad's anger. So now with him dead, I had no idea who I was, and I was terrified. I was like, oh shit, people are going to come up to me at the funeral and ask me things, like my opinion, or worse yet, how I feel, and I'm going to have to talk to them. And I don't know what to say. But Aunt Michelle came to town and totally saved my ass. In a family that didn't talk about anything, everyone talked about the hot mess that was Aunt Michelle. One time she strapped 2 flashlights to her waist and mowed the lawn at 3 in the morning. The neighbors came outside and were like, "What the fuck?" She's like, "Vicodin's not working. Gotta fucking mow the lawn." She reminds me of this woman I saw when I worked at Standard Bank and Trust. The bank was called just Standard. You know, nothing flashy. We had checking accounts, but nothing else. And looking back, this was the perfect place to hide. Because as long as all the logs were duly signed and all the cash was counted, I am fine, we are fine, everything's fine. But then, one day, we see this lady in a chicken suit behind manager Kevin walking down the street. And you can tell she's totally lost her mind. And she's going in and out of businesses and totally disrupting them. And me and Kevin, it's the most interesting thing we've seen in 2 years. We're pushed up against the glass of 2 puppy dogs. We watch her for 45 minutes go in and out of businesses. And people are laughing, but also super confused, like they don't know what to do. And as she walks down the street for the last time, me and Kevin crane our heads to get one last look at the chicken suit lady. And then Kevin turns to me, and he just goes, "It must be nice." And I totally knew he was talking. Can you imagine losing your mind so much that you're like, "Fuck it, we're buying a chicken suit. We're gonna go in and out of businesses." So I needed Aunt Michelle. Aunt Michelle was my chicken suit lady. I needed her. I needed, I was envious of her free-spirited nature, but I needed to hide behind her. At this funeral, I needed all eyes on her and off of me. When she got to the funeral, she did not disappoint. She grabs my mom's camera that has a couple extra rolls, exposures, and she starts taking pictures. And you know how most people don't want to remember a funeral? Guys, get in here, come on! It's going to make a great album! And then at the wake, everybody is huddled in front of a spread of Mexican food. And there's no music, everybody's quiet. And they're in suits, black suits, and black dresses. And Aunt Michelle comes in. Wet as a dog. In a white bathrobe. Excuse me. Excuse me. And she loads up a plate of food that's like disrespectful. And she goes to the back of my house, and my mom's like, "Go check on her." So I'm like looking through all these rooms, and I don't see her. And then we get to my mom's room, and there's steam like billowing into the room. And I'm like, "Oh my God, was she doing conjuring a spirit?" But she's not in the room. And then I go into my mom's bathroom, and that's when I see Aunt Michelle. She's naked in the bathtub. She's made a bubble bath. She's eating enchiladas. Lettuce and tomatoes and shit are falling out. It was so intimate, I almost didn't know what to say. I'm sorry, did I interrupt? She grabs something. She's like, "What are these?" I'm like, "That's a gordita." So I go back to the spread, trying to get Aunt Michelle some more food. And my mom comes up to me and she's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Well, Aunt Michelle's eating back there." And she's like, "In my room?" And I'm like, "No, actually, she's made a bubble bath." She's in the tub. She's like, "Oh, absolutely not." So my plan worked perfectly, and I was able to hide behind Aunt Michelle the whole funeral. Then 2 years later, my mom and I are going through pictures in a photo album. And there's a picture of my mom and my sister on vacation. There's a picture of me at my 11th birthday. There's a picture of Paul and me and my mom at Thanksgiving. I'm on Scarlett and Bogart, our dogs. And then when we get to the last page, there's a picture of my dad dead in a casket. Aunt Michelle had taken a picture of him dead in a casket and no one knew until just now. And as I looked at it, pictures are pretty amazing because they give you the ability to stare, because you can't do that in normal society. And as I looked at him, I remembered how bruised his face was, and how much makeup they had used to cover up the bruises, and how plasticky and unlike himself he looked. And it reminded me that there was a denial even in his death. It also reminded me that I had not escaped like I thought I had. There he was, dead. This is one thing you're going to have an opinion on, you're going to have to feel. So now, 4 years ago, Aunt Michelle died in a diabetic coma. So now Aunt Michelle is dead, and my dad is dead, and there's no one left to hide behind. So I found my bicycle shorts, and I found my chicken suit, and I'm here, and I am not fine. We are not fine. Everything is not fine. How many times was I going to watch the same ship crash into the same rocks and not say one thing? Shame on me! Like most young men, I had my first threesome when I was 12. Is that too early? It was quite innocent, actually. Me and some middle school friends were bored and curious about our developing bodies. It was not a successful threesome. It was a huge failure, actually. But it wasn't me and two girls. It was me and two boys, Jared and Kyle. And a Nerf football that was shaped like a brain. And Jared and Kyle were cousins. It was that time in sexuality where you're just taking wild swings. Your parents and teachers are like, "Do not have sex with women, you will make a baby." And you're like, "Well, should we just have sex with each other?" And what about a Nerf football shaped like a brain? Nobody told me these things. Okay, here's what happened. Me, Jared, and Kyle throwing around a Nerf football that's shaped like a brain. And one of us says, "We should fuck this thing." And it was me. I was the one that told him. And they were totally on board. They're like, "Yes, we have the free time. Let's, spend the day on the project." So we go upstairs to my room, we close the door, and we start drilling holes in the Nerf And Kyle has a huge dick. So his hole goes the length of the football. My hole goes the width, and Jared's goes the width. And we're drinking RC Colas, and we're taking the stuffing out of the football, emptying RC Colas, and then putting the stuffing in the RC Colas. Like, we were doing something that we knew parents would like. So then we'd go downstairs, throw the RC Cola away, grab 3 more RC Colas, chug them, put stuffing. We were thinking of Shawshank Redemption. Out of this football. And it was a time in sexuality where like you have terrible information on sex. So somebody had told us that Gillette shaving cream was the best lubricant. We were even really cocky about it. We would tell other kids, we were like, dude, if you're not masturbating with Gillette, you don't know what you're doing. So when it came time to have sex with the football, we were all like, we're sure going to fill it with Gillette. And everyone was like, yeah, we're not fucking idiots. And so one at a time, we literally went into the closet and fucked the football, while the other two waited patiently on the door. We should build a ramp tomorrow. So one at a time, we went into the closet and had sex with it, and it didn't work at all. It was a failure for everybody. Nobody came. And we'd all come out and be like, dude, how was it? And everybody was like, not good. And just like we had snuck the stuffing out, now we had to sneak a whole Nerf football filled with shaving cream out of the house. So I came up with a plan. I was like, Jared, you put the Nerf football under your shirt. We're going to run to the abandoned lot. My mom's downstairs. I'll distract her. So we go downstairs. My mom's in the kitchen. I'm like, we're on our bikes. She's like, it's fine. And I'm like, run! So we all run to the abandoned lot. And we dug a hole. We put the Nerf football in the hole. We covered it up. We buried it. There was like a ceremony about it. And we all felt shame about this failure for years. It wasn't until years later that I could even kind of mention the idea of like, hey, guys, do you remember when we fucked in their football? And then buried it? So 4 years later, or 4 years ago, I'm at Jared's wedding. It's a beautiful wedding. It's in the botanical garden. The priest is there, Kyle's there, Jared's wife's there. It's very pretty. The people at the wedding keep coming up to me and being like, how do you know Jared? And I didn't know what to say, because the truth would be too much. So I just said, we're just good friends. And I don't know if Jared and Kyle were my first lovers, or if Nerf football was my first love. But I do know that Jared and Kyle got really buff, moved to Dallas, and opened a vitamin shop together. As you get older, you just keep looking for the bigger box of pornography. So in high school, all we wanted to do was go to the porn store. So one night, me, Jared, Kyle, Aaron, and John put my mom's car in neutral, pushed it out of the driveway, and drove to the porn store. And once we got there, it was amazing. There was a wall of dildos. There was like a rubber fist and forearm. We were like hitting each other with it. And the porn store guy was like really annoyed. He was like, these guys do not take fucking seriously. But like we all agreed we wanted to like have a prize for the night. We wanted to buy something together to say we had been to the porn store and we know what sex is. It's kind of funny because like now I would never be like, guys, that was a great brunch. Should I have a timeshare on a dildo? But at the time it was like, dude, everybody chip in. Everybody, you gotta buy this. But we didn't have much money. We all chipped in. We couldn't buy any of these nice dildos. But there was a bargain bin of dildos. Sex toys. Right by the cash. So we go through. And there's nipple clamps. There's a dildo that's shaped like a dolphin. But then we found it. It was a pink dildo with 2 cords that came off of it and connected to a controller. And it had a Mayan god on the face of it that looked like kind of like Olmec from Legends of the Hidden And it felt like in Indiana Jones in The Last Crusade, where he picks the carpenter's cup. We picked this dildo. It wasn't the flashiest or the most expensive, but we picked this dildo because we respected it. We buy the dildo and leave, and the porn store guy's like, they don't respect Olmec. Like, fuck you, old man. And we go back to the house. We immediately take the batteries out of the controller. We put them in the dildo. And the dildo vibrates. And it spins in circles. We're like all laughing. It's a really good dildo. We're all laughing. Like, isn't it funny that we have a dildo? And then we all go to sleep and everyone leaves. And then I'm left with Olmec. Pick him up. Grab him. And it's very sexy. I can feel his power. And it terrifies me. So, I open up my Hot Wheels box. I take out the first level and the second level. And I put the dildo in the bottom. And I put Hot Wheels on top of it. Close the Hot Wheels box. Then I grab a combination lock. And I put it on the Hot Wheels. Just like, nothing going on in there. Just Hot Wheels. People have frankly been stealing my Hot Wheels. I wish we lived in a world where people didn't steal Hot Wheels. That's not the case. So I was terrified. I kept it in there for a full year. But a dildo is like a gun. If you have it in your house, you're going to use it. Just like Anton Chekhov said, if a gun is presented in the first act, it must go off in the third. So one day, I put in the code, and I open up the Hot Wheels box. And just like in Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark, I opened up the Ark, and it melted my face. Through pure instinct, I figured out how to stimulate my own prostate, and I was coming hard, harder than I ever had. In uncharted territory. Like, now my sexual knowledge has surpassed that even of Emmanuel, my teacher. Like, there was no scene in Emmanuel where she sticks her finger up a dude's butt and a hot saxophone plays. I hadn't even had real sex yet. And guys on the basketball team would come up to me and be like, dude, are you fucking? And I wanted to be like, yeah, myself, till the cows come home. But I didn't tell anyone. And I would just put Olmec back in the hot. But one day, I got lazy and cocky like my brother. I just left Olmec on a dresser behind me. Stuffed animals. A Bernstein bear and a cat in a hat. And my mom comes in the room, always searching, always looking. She's getting closer, and I'm like, oh my God, what have you done? How could you be so careless with something so precious? And then as she gets closer, all the shameful thoughts start to come in, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm more and more nervous. I'm like, Mom, how's your day? And then her mom instincts kick in, and she's searching harder. She knows that there's something to look for. And it starts getting worse and worse. And again, I start to think of that kid that was crucified. I'm like, oh my God, this is so much more than porn. This is a sex toy. They're going to have my ass for this. I can't, I don't have the confidence. I'm 17 years old, Pop. I can have a timeshare on a dildo, whatever I please. I don't have the confidence for that. She gets closer, things start to go, and I start to pray that Olmec is a real god, and he'll just say, get out. But Olmec isn't a real god, he's a bargain bin dildo. There's nothing to stop her from moving the first stuffed animal out of the way, and then the second stuffed animal. And now she's looking at the dildo, and she turns her head like a dog, confused. And then I don't know what to do. I'm like, oh, I just yell, no! Absolutely not! And now she's at the dildo, and she's picking it up. And I'm like, oh my God! I never thought I would have a conversation with my mom while she's holding a dildo. And I just yell, everyone's doing it! She puts the dildo down. She puts one stuffed animal in front of it. And then another stuffed animal in front of it. She walks past me. Out of the room. And we've never talked about it. And they all ended because I was scared. I was scared I would share something about myself, and then that person would leave. These people had said that they loved me, but it never really stuck. And it wasn't that I didn't believe them. I was just sure that they weren't talking to the real me. The shame that I put on my dad, I put on myself tenfold. Then last May, Katie invited me to this bar called Simon's. We went. We ended up talking for 4 hours about our families and ourselves. It was amazing. And then 2 days later, it was Memorial Day. And I invited her to the lake. And we ended up talking more. And as things got more serious, we'd stay up till 3 in the morning and get work the next day. But we'd wake up charged, just sharing. And I was so interested in every memory she had. And she was so interested in mine. It was so much fun to share. And then we finally got to the sex talk. We shared like how humiliating sex is, and how much fun or exhilarating it is. And I told her everything, except for the pink dildo story. I was 29 at this point, and I hadn't told one person on the spinning globe. But I looked at Katie's face, and for the first time, I felt safe. So I told this story, very choppy and very awkwardly. And she listened, very patiently, very lovingly. When I got done telling the story, she said to me, "That's hilarious." It makes me love you even more. And then I said back to her, I was like, "I love you so much." And just like that, all the shame that I carried my whole life was gone. And what was left was love. I can share anything with Katie, and that's freedom to me. And in 6 days, I'm going to marry her. So I've gotten all the memories out of my brain and all the shame out of my brain, so it's not holding me back from loving anymore.
Memories
parents went to a Deepak Chopra mindfulness meditation retreat. They went over Y2K. This was a time where people thought the world was going to end. And it all culminated with a video conference call with the Dalai Lama himself. This was a big night for Deepak. There were mindfulness talks, there was chanting, there was meditation, and my dad hated it all. He was like, these bullshit fucking mantras. But he mostly hated it because of the food. This is a man who ate Taco Bell 4 times a week. And this is the first time he was actually eating vegetables and tofu. So he's bloated as all hell. And on the last night, Deepak Chopra is leading them through this exercise where you're supposed to spin like a whirling dervish. And it's supposed to create presence. And my dad refuses for a couple reasons. One, he's 330 pounds at this point. And if he falls on one of these yogis, that's how Sunshine will die. And 2, his stomach really hurts. But my mom's like, baby, please. You came all this way, just spin. Just please spin. And so he says, goddamn, goddamn, goddamn. And he begins to spin. And he's spinning. And he's actually really good and he's really graceful. And it's interesting to watch a big person be graceful. So he keeps spinning. And now other yogis stop and other people at the retreat stop and they start to watch him. And he's spinning and spinning. And then my mom starts to laugh. And my dad starts to laugh. And now all of the people at the retreat are laughing. And now there's that moment of presence that my dad came here for. But this moment of presence is followed by another moment. Oh God. He begins to fart. And he's laughing so hard that he can't stop farting, but he has so much momentum that he can't stop spinning. So he's farting and spinning, and farting and spinning. And Deepak Chopra says, oh my God! And my mom and dad are now laughing just super hard, and my dad's still farting, and I'm like, you gotta go! And they leave the retreat. They don't even go see the video conference with the Dalai Lama because they had already found what they were looking for. And the year before my dad died, they did get back together. And this night, they went to the hotel bar. My dad ordered a burger, my mom got a martini, and they had the best night of the retreat together. Now, I found out this story after my dad died. And I so wish I had known it when he was alive. Because I never knew how hard he was trying to beat this thing. And I don't know how you tell a 13-year-old, son, your mom and I have marital problems. I went to a Deepak Chopra mindfulness meditation retreat. I farted on Deepak Chopra. I don't know how you tell that story. But if you were here to tell it, I would say, Dad, it's fucking hilarious. It makes me love you even more.
Oh, when you're